Hi there, you're watching Your Trades on ET now with me Snehisha, and with me as always is Priyanka. And Priyanka, not much to complain about in today's trading session. Very steady moves coming in all across. You have Nifty that has closed the day with a 0.5% uptick. Sensex too, just in tandem with Nifty, 0.5% rise over there as well. You have Nifty Bank also up 0.5%, so largely steady moves coming in. However, India Wix has spiked very nominally, but not much to worry about on that front. So good moves coming in. 24,141.9, so as good as 24,142 is where we have shut shop for the day when it comes to Nifty. What's key to note is broader markets have done pretty well today, and both your Nifty mid cap and Nifty small cap were at record high levels again. Nifty small cap 1% gain coming in, Nifty mid cap 1% gain coming in, and Nifty small cap outperforming all of those peer indices with a 1.5% uptick coming in on an intraday basis on Nifty small cap as well. Sectorally, you had a lot of sectors that did well. You only have 3 sectors that have ended the day in the red. Barring that, you have IT, FMCG, metal, auto, Nifty Bank and Pharma. All of these sectors in the green today. On the flip side, Realty, Energy and PSU banks have closed in the green. PSU banks and Nifty Realty continue to languish in the red. Remember, last week also, Realty was a sector that has been heavily under pressure. Let's quickly talk about some big stock gainers. Then you have IT that outperformed. So IT was a good one. You had Garden Reach Trip Builders that did pretty well, continues to harp on that defense theme, that stock. So good moves coming over there. Mahanagar Gas, Home First, PB Fintech, all of them were your top gainers today. On the flip side, you have India Cement, top loser today, Global Health, Torrent Power, Prestige Estates, Sobha, NTPC, Ratan India. All of these are your top losers for the day. But Priyanka, what are you spotting?
I was looking at IT packs today. They're clearly the top gainer, and on the back of the double upgrade we saw on Wipro, not just Wipro, the entire IT pack was buzzing. Large cap names, Tech Mahindra, Infosys, Wipro, and in fact TCS, all were trading with more than 1% gain. In fact, Tech Mahindra and Wipro were the top gainer on the indices. IT pack clearly, and the kind of moves we have seen on Nasdaq also. In fact, 2 quarters gone by for this year, and generally for India also, as the data suggests, in last 2 decades, second half is always better. So what a kickstart to July month. And of course, the kind of move we saw in the way you pointed out, a lot of mid-cap names, so many stocks which were at the all-time high. Today you talk about Imami, Home First Finance, JSW Infra, PB Fintech 9 to 10% of gain today. Last week there was an upgrade by Citi on the stock with a target price of 1600. This one was in focus today clearly. Then stocks like IGL, MGL also. This was clearly an optimistic view coming in because of the higher volume growth. Last week also there was a brokerage note on it, and with the CAGR of 6 to 7%, and the historical CAGR was 5 to 6% only. Clearly some management commentary on the outlook for Dixon, and in fact not just Dixon, in fact the entire EMS space was buzzing, especially talk about Dixon Tech, where the management is confident about taking 20 to 25% of market share in the mobile segment in the coming 3 years. That's what this is one stock which was gaining in the trade today. Other Q1 updates, let's stocks like IREDA. You talk about stocks like REC, and in fact a banking stock also. IREDA, the Q1 loan disbursement, this was up by 68%, quite a whooping figure. And then sanctioned loans were also up around about 3.8 times if you compare it on Y basis. So a lot of stocks which were buzzing in, and of course we will talk in detail about our exclusive news also, wherein the government is likely to announce a new scheme by the name of Janman for the power sector in the upcoming budget, and this will be announced. This is aiming at announcing some measures to electrify the leftover household, and this could be a bigger figure. And the amount of the figure looks like around about 4.96 lakh households to be covered under this new scheme. So these were a few of the stocks which were buzzing in trade today, but let's understand how to trade on the index, the levels to watch out for. Mileen Vasudeo joins us. Mileen, hi, good afternoon. Welcome to your trades. Tell us, what are the index levels that you're watching out? Of course, when we ended the June, or rather we should say that the way we kick-started the July series, FNO data looked very promising, with FNO positioning at the highest level, rollover figures, and the average return for July. Entire seasonality is working out. Do you see higher levels from this level, or they can be a case of some consolidation going ahead now?
Good afternoon. If you see on the daily chart now, clearly this indices is trading well above the short-term moving average, which reflects that the sentiments in the markets are positive. Now, even if you see last month, if you see index has nearly gained nearly somewhere around 2,800 points. And looking at that strong momentum, we are of the opinion that one should adopt a buy on decline strategy going forward. And for Nifty, we are very positive on Nifty, and we are working with the target of 24,700 to 24,900 levels in couple of weeks time. And in tomorrow's trading session, if you see, if Nifty has got a good support somewhere around, say, 24,060 levels, 23,980 levels. So any dip in tomorrow's trading session should be used to go long for a target of, say, somewhere around 24,280 to 24,330 levels. Even on Bank Nifty, we are very positive. Bank Nifty also has got good support somewhere around 52,500 to 52,300 levels. Any dips should be used to go long in the market. Once in the early morning session, if Bank Nifty starts trading above 52,760 levels, then yes, you could expect Bank Nifty to test 52,800 to 52,900 levels in tomorrow's trading session.
All right, Mileen, thanks for the views coming in. Big upside being spotted on Nifty Bank, and buy on dips is the call coming on both your Nifty as well as Nifty Bank. But Mileen, amid a market like this, what are your stock picks? Where are you spotting value as of now?
See, today, if you see, there was good action in IGL, MGL, and in that gas space, Gujarat Gas was looking promising today in the afternoon session. Currently trading at 648. One can keep a stop loss of 620. Target would be 680 and 705. The second stock is ACC, which is currently trading at 2750. Keep a stop loss of 2680. And the target would be 2890, 2950 in a couple of weeks' time.
All right, thanks very much, Mileen, for bringing both the top two recommendations from you. Thanks very much. Let's go to Srishti now. Srishti brings us two more stocks. And what rationale are you giving us, Srishti? Are the both stocks on the breakout side?
Well, certainly, with the market movement, both the counters are on the breakout side. And first up, let's have a look at Apollo Tyres, because the auto pack has been doing pretty well from the ancillary space. After a long while, we are seeing Apollo Tyres coming back in the momentum. What we have spotted is that the stock was seen to be sitting at its 3 months high. If you will see, then it's almost a rounding bottom breakout is what the stock is seen to be witnessing, though it was not a significant move in today's trading session, but it managed to actually get back to those 3-month high levels that we have witnessed back in March. Other than that, the stock is now trading comfortably above its 20-day moving average, and a move today supported by a long build-up. So this is the first stock we wish to highlight on the breakout side. Moving on to the next one, and it has to be from the IT space, because it was indeed the star performer for today. And have a look at Tech Mahindra, because this is a weekly chart that you are seeing for Tech Mahindra, and on the weekly setup, have a look at what kind of a breakout that this stock is finally giving, comfortably above that 1450 odd mark, very well supported by a long build up and trading above its key moving averages. So these are the two stocks we highlighted and we spotted on the breakout side. Back to you.
All right, Srishti, Apollo Tyres and Tech Mahindra looking attractive on the charts. Thanks for spotting that for us. Let's slip into the word from the Wise segment, and today that happens to be Mihir Vora, the CIO at Trust Mutual Fund. He believes the financial space is looking the most attractive right now. Let's go across and understand why this financial space is standing out to him. Listen in.
Certainly. So on a relative basis, financials are, I think, the most attractive, though they have disappointed surprisingly, in spite of having the best ever asset quality, decent growth. But the concerns about liquidity being tighter for longer are probably weighing on the sector. Plus the RBI's, not directive, I would say, but indications that they might expect some tempering on the personal loans, the unsecured loan part. That's probably weighing a bit on the sector. But as far as the current fundamentals are concerned, I don't think we've ever seen valuations and fundamentals so attractive.
Okay, so attractive valuation, attractive fundamental. That's the reason Mihir believes that one should keep focus on financials. We'll stay for a short break here. More to come when we come back. On the other side, we get to the derivative action and the other top stories of the day. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Your Trades, and now from the derivative side, as 24,000 happens to be the crucial support, we continue to inch up higher, and that's what we saw today also in terms of call buying. We've seen higher calls now, 24,200, 24,300. The call buying, the maximum open interest in terms of call buying was seen on these strikes, but then 24,300 also happens to be a resistance level. 24,000 is a good support level. Maximum of the put writing also happened at these strikes, as well as 24,100. And of course, VIX was almost flat today. It was below 14. So none of the, not much of the volatility on the either side. And that's how we saw a very steady moves in the trade today.
Absolutely. So steady trading session coming in, but let's talk about a stock that deserves special mention today, and that is Wockhardt. Perched in the upper circuit today, 20% locked and very steadily, properly locked. It has not even declined once throughout the trading session, and this is on the back of optimism for its latest success with an antibiotic named WCK5222 or Zanuck. Remember, over the course of the weekend there was also an analyst meet about this, and lots of positive commentary coming in from there as well. Let's listen in to what founder and chairman Habir Khorakiwala says about the company's product pipeline. Listen in.
Zanuck is a new antimicrobial product, basically, and it works on resistance microorganism, and it has a new class of antibiotic. And there is, in India, about 750,000 patient resistance cases are there, and it will work on those patients. McNef, that is nafithromycin, is an oral drug. It is used in pneumonia cases where there is a very significant resistance, as high as 60% to existing product. And when it is oral drug don't work, people get hospitalized. And that is where our drug is very effective. It has 97% success rate, and it's just a 3-day treatment. And it is a single drug treatment versus multiple drug, even orally doctor uses today.
Alright, that's the word coming in from the management at Wockhardt. Let's talk about 3 more stocks that were under the spotlight today. As we count down to the Q1 earnings, let's take a look at some of the Q1 updates that have come in. And first up, let's take a look at IREDA. And a good set of numbers coming in this time around. We also had the management that joined us earlier in the day to talk about what Q1 is looking like. So let's take a look at what's happening on that front as well. For the loan sanction, they've come in at 9,136 crores versus 1,893 crores, a massive uptick coming in, 4.5 times higher when it comes on a year-on-year basis, a 386% up move on that front. Loan disbursement also higher by 67%, and outstanding loan book at the end of Q1 at 63,150 crore rupees, which is also a roughly 34% jump on a year-on-year basis. That stock also did pretty well today in today's trade. Moving on, let's talk about REC. Then loan sanction have seen an uptick of 27%, out of which renewable energy is has come in at 35.2% compared to 27.5% last year as well. So that's a 58% move coming in on how much they've allocated towards renewable energy. Loan disbursements have seen a 28% move, and out of which renewable energy disbursement has seen a 3.5 times jump. So a good thrust and good focus coming in on the renewable energy play over here. Lastly, let's also take a look at Karur Vysya Bank. This stock also held up pretty smartly in today's trading session, and deposits have seen a growth of 14.5%. You have advances up 16%. CASA has come in at 28,042 crore rupees, which is a 5.6% uptick. So steady numbers coming in, not bad on this front as well. And total business has come in at 1.7 lakh crore compared to 1.47 lakh crore this time last year, so good uptick of 15%. So stable set of numbers coming in, and all three stocks have done pretty smartly in today's trade, Priyanka.
All right, absolutely. In fact, let's get you more on this only. Pure play, because this is a green energy pure play financer, and IREDA it was buzzing on the loan disbursement figures which you just mentioned. But on the back of the robust quarterly updates also, additionally, select more counters have also been extending gains on the hopes of inclusion under Section 54 EC of the Income Tax Act, and this is to facilitate cheaper funds. Hear out what IREDA's chairman Pradeep Kumar, what he has to talk on the inclusion. How can this inclusion benefit him going forward?
We are expecting that probably now that is in advanced stage, and they will take a final call on this. Along with us, also I came to know Wockhardt had also submitted their request. If we get, so in addition to PFC, REC will be another 2 agencies. So we can go to market and we can raise from the market, assuming if it is 5.25 or even 5.5. Today we are raising from the market at 7.5, 7.4, something like that, because 1 week back we raised around 1,500 crore for 10 years, and it was 7.42. So against that, if it is 5.2, so almost 150 to 200 bips difference will be there. And if we pass on that to the sector, remember one thing: the new and emerging sector, the challenges are more. So when challenges are more, we load that risk factor to the interest. So many projects which are not becoming bankable today because of that loading, if we have a cheaper source of borrowing, then that much can be passed on to the sector, and the project which are not becoming bankable today, those will become bankable. And that will further speed up this 500 gigawatt target in the country.
That's the word coming in from the CMD of IREDA, saying that if this inclusion does take place under the 54 EC bonds, cost of capital will slip by 150 bips, positive coming in for the company. Moving on, let me now attract or drag your attention rather to the cement space, and let's talk about what cements have done today, because when I look at it, other than India Cements, every other listed cement name today has closed in the green. Now we have a channel check source from Jefferies, and they see limited possibility for a price hike for the next 2 months for the sector. My colleague Ashesha is here with more details and the key takeaways of this channel check. Ashesha.
Well, absolutely. Jefferies cement channel check suggests that prices have declined further in the month of June by about 1 to 1.5%. Remember, cement industry had undertaken price hikes in the month of October, after which they attempted price hikes twice, in April this year and in June this year, but none of those price hikes could sustain, and now on a quarter-on-quarter basis, in the first quarter of FY25, cement prices have declined nearly 2 to 2.5%. Volume growth, meanwhile, has been very strong. As far as price hikes now are concerned, because of monsoon, price hikes, at least for this quarter, remains limited, and price hikes could come in only in the second half of calendar year 2025. As far as region-wise price reduction is concerned, southern region experienced biggest fall of about 7 to 10 rupees per bag, followed by eastern and northern region where prices fell by about 5 rupees per bag. So all in all, demand trends continue to remain strong, but cement prices continue to remain under pressure, and now price hikes are expected to happen only the second half of this year.
Cement space continues to be news, maybe because of the consolidation in the space or the price hike, which could be possibly there or not. Thanks very much, Ashesha, for getting all those details. But then we did speak to some of the key players from the industry. We spoke to Hari Mohan Bangar, MD for Shree Cements, and he shared his growth targets for the upcoming years. Let's listen into what he exactly had to say.
We are totally geared up for 80 million ton organically. Inorganic growth, we will be looking at it, but not very aggressively. If something comes up which is of right size and meets our overall demand, overall expectation and overall scheme of things, where we want to be in 5 years later, then only we will look at it. We will be targeting only something like 3 to 5 million ton with smaller companies.
All right, let's move on and let's shift focus away from the markets, talk about what's been happening in the world of Bollywood. And Kalki is a movie that's been making all the buzz. Now, Karan Taurani, Senior VP at Elara Securities, expects Kalki to garner around 600 to 650 crores in gross collections. However, he also adds that there is not much traction for Hindi releases going ahead. Listen into what he had to say.
When Kalki started off, the Hindi advances were very poor. There was not much of a buzz as such. The opening day collections, if you see, Hindi version was not more than about 12 to 15%. But about yesterday, if you look at the numbers, more than 45 to 50% of the collection is from the Hindi circuit. So of course, the Hindi circuit has picked up because of word of mouth, and secondly also because Amitabh Bachchan, having a significant role there. So one did not know that Amitabh Bachchan has got a large role there. One thought it's a Prabhas lead, but in the second half, I think Amitabh Bachchan has a significant role to play. So I think the numbers have kind of picked up basis that as well. So I think if the momentum continues from here on an average, I think in terms of overall lifetime collections, the numbers could breach to about 650 crores on a lifetime gross numbers domestic, and around 30-35% would come from the Hindi circuit, which would be a big advantage for PVR Inox because they have close to 45% market share in the Hindi circuit, and in the South circuit the market share is relatively smaller. So I think it's going to add some respite to both Q1 and Q2, partially in terms of potential impact. So that's the potential impact on Kalki. The second thing is on the content pipeline. So I think Q2 so far we are not seeing any green shoots as such in terms of very sharp recovery. Of course, it started off on a high because of Kalki, but if you look at the Hindi content pipeline, apart from Stree 2 and a couple of more films, by Akshay Kumar and one by Ajay Devgan, we're not seeing too much of traction.
Okay, so the southern belt, the southern movies steal the charm. That's what Karan was trying to say. Thanks very much, Karan, for the entire update. Now, Gaurav is here to give us a sense of the other stocks which are buzzing in trade today. Gaurav, tell us.
Well, yes. Let's begin with Atul Autos because we are getting a strong update from the company. For the month of June, Atul Autos actually recorded sales increase of around 107% on a YY basis. And when we even look at the time frame of April to June, we saw an uptick of 115% for the company. And on the back of this news, we saw this stock hit its upper circuit of 20% today. Next, let's talk about GRAC because this company received an order from government of Bangladesh worth $21 million. And on the back of this order, we saw this stock also hitting its upper circuit of 10% today. Next, let's talk about Religare because we saw a block deal happening in the shares. Around 6.25 million of the shares changed hands in a bunch of trades, which is around 1.9% of the equity. And even if you look at the stock performance, it increased almost more than 7%. Next, let's talk about Wipro because CLSA has now upgraded the stock of Wipro.
Alright, let's move on then and also shift focus to the power financiers, the likes of REC. Remember, REC already in focus on the back of its Q1 updates, but power financiers like REC are back in the spotlight on hopes of a new scheme for the power sector. Sources tell ET now that the centre's Janman scheme is looking to cover leftover households for electrification, coupled with financial assistance. Let's go across to my colleague Prakash, who's standing by with all the exclusive details. Prakash, take it away.
Yes, we are learning from our sources that the government is likely to announce a new scheme for the power sector in the upcoming budget. We are given to understand that the Power Ministry has prepared a proposal which has been sent to the Ministry of Finance for its approval. A new scheme called Janman, which has been designed for electrification of leftover households across the country. Under this scheme, around 5 lakhs households are going to be covered, and the sources are informing that the government is likely to provide around rupees 2,500 to 3,000 crore under this scheme. Along with that, the primary vulnerable tribal groups will be the focus under this scheme, and the tribal households in the states like Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh will be covered. Along with that, REC is likely to be the biggest beneficiary. In addition to that, the sources are also informing that the government is likely to provide additional financial assistance to the DISCOMs to bring down their overall AT&C losses below 15%.
All right, thanks very much, Prakash, for all that updates. Well, that's all in this edition of Your Trades. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more updates.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.